times they said the earth was flat, but now they say it's round. But strange enough, though true it is, no proof has yet been found. Astronomers will tell you if you ask them or and or. Proofs are by no means wanting by the dozen or the score. Copernicus has told us this, and Newton and the rest. And people say there are the men who surely should know best.
And if be true the earth's a globe, who better off than he to say when looking down upon the globe I plainly see? But has he said so? No, not he. He knows his duty better than to utter such a falsehood in the spirit or the letter. When we take his correspondence and his other publications, we can find no mention of a globe in all his observations.
To all who view it from above is level in the main. And here it is well to notice that if the earth's a plane, as though it were a wassail bowl so large and yet so true, the horizon for its edges and its depths all tinged with blue. Thus we find that terra firma, if we take it as it looks, is very far from being as is shown to us in books.
Truth can hurt, but it does not kill. Lies may plead, but they never heal. Truth can hurt, but it does not kill. Lies may please, but they never heal. For in them is nothing that would seem if looked at like a cup, but a circle with a man on it and a ship perhaps sailing up a globe. This is to represent having bottom, sides, and top, and people all around it there by some means made to stop, and all the while to spinning on its axis like a toy. At least such is the theory, and it's taught to girl and boy.
600 miles an hour at London is the rate it's going, heedless alike of thunder's roar or winds that may be blowing. Professor Airy in his lecture says, young men, do you believe it? Who answered no, and tell himself need not conceive it. But this rotation is not compared with what we're told of its revolution in its orbit round the sun so bright and bold.
Although we are so wicked as to say there's nothing in it, the astronomers assure us 'tis 1,000 miles a minute. All evidence that we may get from the senses that we own is nothing more than were we stick or stone. They have long since failed to trust them, as Zetetic plainly tells us, and yet to trust these very men old etiquette compels us.
Trust them, of course we will when nature's represented, but from putting faith in theories may we ever be prevented. And then again 'tis very plain that nature's always taught her sons to seek a level surface on the top of water. The earth a globe, and having on its surface lake and sea, what other form than globular can the surface of them be? The proofs of the astronomers have sound but little sense, and those with reason in their minds must banish them from thence. Truth is no more nor less than in itself persistent, and he who urges opposite must needs be inconsistent.
Truth can hurt, but it does not kill. Lies may plead, but they never heal. Truth can hurt, but it does not kill. Lies may please, but they never heal.
Hawking's indeed says in his book we take it all for granted, but common sense says nowadays that something else is wanted. Buzz Aldrin the bold, we have been told, has been far above the ground, but bold enough are we to say that proofs he ne'er has found.
And then again 'tis very plain that nature's always taught her sons to seek a level surface on the top of water. But nature and her sons must learn as savants, who will teach them for of theories they have enough, and who shall dare impeach them? The earth a globe, and having on its surface lake and sea, what other form than globular can the surface of them be?
But water must be level 40, well then never mind. That's but a trilling circumstance, some opening we shall find. Just say that level's convex and convexate is level, and then all the mean objectors we can send them to the Books we publish far and wide just to have our views in, and they will find them one and all instructive and amusing. Been told in language bold that the distance of the sun from Earth in 64 is millions 91.
In 63, in years gone by, 'twas taught in every school, and who forgot 'twas 95 was considered as a fool. But trace the figures further back and see the great variety that has been taught for sober truth and respectable society.
There's 81 and 54 and 12, it is a fact, have all been told in earnest in the science called exact. But it is not only here indeed that error has been found. One wrong begets 1,000 till the error runs its round. That this is mere assumption, let who will pretend to know that real proofs there are none, or they never have been found. And this massive theory undermined must topple to the ground.
Rub it in, club it in, all that's known as learning. Punch it in, crunch that childish yearning. For the field and grassy nook, ocean grand and rippling brook. Drive each trivial thought afar, teach the children that they are but machines to cram it in and slam it in for the heads are hollow.
Fold it in and mold it in, cloven all to swallow. Fold it in and hold it in, still there's more to follow. Faces pinched and sad and pale, tell the same unvarnished tale. Tell of hours robbed from sleep, teachers wearied, studies deep. Those who passed the furnace through with despair can tell to you how the teacher crammed it in, rammed it in and jammed it in, crunched it in and punched it in, rubbed it in and dubbed it in, pressed it in, caressed it in, wrapped it in and slapped it in when their heads were hollow.
Can hurt, but it does not kill. Lies may plead, but they never heal. Truth can hurt.